So let's talk about switch on enumeration. And first off, let's go ahead and delete the extra value that we added. So go back to the enumeration, which we created over here. And I'm going to delete the crouch too, because we don't really need it. And let's save. And let's go back to the level blueprint. Okay, let's drag out our enumeration. And now try to write switch. You can see here something called switch on and the enumeration that you have currently. So this will bring up a big thing here, and don't be confused. This is very simple. It will actually list all of your list items here. So now you can execute a code depending on what you really want here. For example, if your player is crouching, you want to execute this code. If your player is running, you want to execute this code, and so on. So you are going to execute a code depending on what the player is doing. For example, if this is a list um, of fruits, let's say, for example, we have a banana here and we have an apple here. So, for example, if it's an apple your player is holding, you can do this. If it's a banana, you can do this, and so on. So in this case, we have switch and enum, and in this case, for example, we could change the movement speed of the player. So let's make a new variable and call it movement speed. And let's change the variable to a float because we need a number with decimals. And let's bring it out. Hold Alt and bring it out to set it. And for example, for crouching, we want to set the movement speed to 50. This really doesn't mean anything right now. I'm just writing numbers. And we can copy paste it, and we can, when the player is walking, I want him to move a bit faster, so maybe 70. And when you're running, you're going to move 100. When you're sprinting, you're going to move 150. And when you're proning, let's say you're not able to move, so I'm going to set it to 0. So let's connect all of these. And now it's going to execute the code depending on what the enumeration default value or just the value in general is. So let's go ahead and write a print string. So let's print it out to the screen. And let's hook up all of these movement speeds. So you can actually see that it's printing it out. Okay, so this was the last one, and I'm going to move them up a bit so it's more clean. It can get messy really quick, so remember to clean it up and make these lines better, but I don't want to make the video too long right now. So let's save and click play, and you can see here the default value right now is walk, so it's going to set the movement speed to 70. And if I click play, you can see that the movement speed is actually 70. And if I was, let's say, if I was sprinting, the movement speed will be 50. So this is very powerful, and you can also use it on user interfaces. And I'm going to make a course later about user interfaces. And this is very cool because you can have a list of windows, for example, main menu. You can have the character selection screen. You can have the profile screen and so on. And you can actually run a certain code depending on what window it is. So these are enumerations. They are very easy to learn. It's just a list. And if you want to add more to the list, go back to the enum that you created, add some more stuff to the list, and go back, and they will appear down here. And then you can add more code depending on what you need to do for each of these execution pins.